Hello, my name is Dhirendra Newar from BBA department, and this is in continuation from the Unit 3 of the Production Management subject for BBA 4th semester. So in today's audio lesson, I will be covering up the remaining 5 topics and will be completing the Unit 3 chapter in full. So these topics are as follows. Number 1, procedure for production planning. Number 2, routing, scheduling, master production, schedule of production planning. Number 3, meaning and definition of production control. Number 4, objectives of production control. And finally number 5, that is functions of production control. Now let us explain the procedure of production planning. Number 1, perform demand forecasting. So the first steps in planning production is to estimate your demand. Do this by examining your sales and production history for the past year or two to determine if you will have peaks and valleys during the coming year. Talk to the customers and discuss your buying plans. Have your sales manager submit his targets for the year by quarter, month or week, depending on the volume of your sales and need for precise production scheduling. Number 2, analyze your supply chain. Review how long it takes to get materials to make your product once you order them, how long it takes to produce them, your storage capacity, and the time it takes to ship the product. This will help prevent bottlenecks that will occur if one of the links in your supply chain causes problems. Let us see an example. If you determine you need to pre-make product before a seasonal rush, you must make sure you have the warehouse space and availability to quickly ship product to make rooms for the new inventories. Number 3, plan your first draft. Based on your demand forecast, create the first draft of your production schedule. Look for potential bottlenecks, rush periods or slow periods you can level out. Again, let us see an example. If one customer places its order for the entire year at once, negotiate delivering that company's order 2 or 4 times per year in partial shipments. This reduces your need to use your production capacity at one time for this larger order. Use warehouse space to hold it and stretch your shipping capacity to get the order out. You might need to allow the customer to pay for partial shipments later in the year or offer a discount if the customer prepays and accepts inventory early. Number 4, review your labor needs. Using the first draft of your production schedule, evaluate your labor needs. Look for ways to reduce the use of overtime or more expensive contract employees by attempting to eliminate busy periods. Let us see with an example. If the customer that orders all of its product once each year won't take delivery early, you might still pre-produce the company's order to avoid labor problems, storing the product in your warehouse until it's ordered. And number 5, access your cash flows. Working with your sales and accounting departments, analyze your cash flow. This will help you determine whether or not you can carry inventory you have pre-made to avoid production spikes. In some instances, you might have to use more expensive labor later rather than producing extra inventory now, because you don't have the cash or credit available to buy the supplies to build that inventory. Using your first draft production schedule, you might be able to arrange for more credits or save more cash before peak production time. And then finally, Create your final plan. Once you know your product delivery needs, pre-order production options, cash flows, situation and labor needs, create your final production schedule. Address every aspects of the logistics and supply chain, starting with signed contracts, material orders, labor schedules, production, storage, shipping and billing. So this is the end of the topic procedure of production planning. Now we move to the next subtopic, which is called routing and scheduling in production planning. Let us see what is this. Let me explain you in detail. Routing and schedule in production planning and control. Routing may be defined as the selection of path which each part of the product will follow while being transformed from raw materials to finished products. Path of the product will also give sequence of operation to be adopted while being manufactured. So in other way, routing means determinations of most advantageous path to be followed from department to department and machine to machine till raw material gets its final shape, which involves the following steps. Type of work to be done on product or its parts, operation required doing the work, sequences of operation required, where the work will be done, and a proper classification about the personnel required and the machines for doing the work. Now let us see what are the techniques of routing. While converting the raw materials into finished goods, operations are to be performed and selections of a particular path of operation for each piece is termed as routing. This selection of a particular path, that is, the sequence of operation, must be the best and cheapest to have the lowest cost of final product or the finished product. So, the various routing techniques are as follows. Number 1, route card. Now let us say, what is this route card? This card allows companies with the jobs throughout all operation. This indicates the material used during manufacturing and their progress from one operation to another. In addition to this, details of scraps and good works produced are also recorded. Number 2, worksheet. Let us see now what is this worksheet and what are its contents. Number A, specification to be followed while manufacturing. Number B, instruction regarding routing of every part with identification number of machine, and this sheet is made for manufacturing as well as for maintenance. Number 3, route sheet. It deals with specific production order, generally made from operation sheets. One sheet is required for each part or component of the order. This includes the following: number and other identification of the order, symbols and identification of the parts, number of pieces to be made, number of pieces in each lot if put through in lots, operations data which includes list of operation on the parts, department in which operations are to be performed, machines to be used for each operations, and fixed sequences of operation if any. Number 4, move orders. Though this document needed for production control, it is never used for routing system. Move orders is prepared for each operation as per operation sets. On this, the quantity passed forward, scrapped, and to be rectified are recorded. It is returned to planning office when the operation is completed. Next, let's see what are the functions of master production schedule. Master production schedule, which is also known as MPS in short form, gives a formal detail of the production plan and converts this plan into specific material and capacity requirements. The requirements with respect to labor, material and equipment are then assessed. The main functions of MPS are follows. Number 1, to translate aggregate plans into specific end items. Number 2, evaluate alternative schedules. Number 3, generate material requirements. And 4, generate capacity requirements. 5, facilitate information processing. And finally, effective utilizations of capacity. Now, moving on to another topic of this unit number 3, which is called meaning and definition of production control. I think this is one of the most important topics. So, without any delay, let us see what is the meaning of production control. The production control is the function of management which plans, directs and controls the material supply and processing activities of an enterprise so that specified products are produced by special methods to meet an approved sales program. It ensures that activities are carried out in such a way that the available labors and capitals are used in the best possible way. So this is the meaning of production control. Now let us see what is the definition of production control. In the opinion of Mary Gushing Niles, control is maintaining a balance in activities towards a goal or set of goals evolved during production planning. Planning only outlines some course of action, whereas control is an execution process involving standardization, evaluation, and corrective functions. Let us see the second definition, which is given by Fayol. Control consists in verifying whether everything occurs in conformity with the adopted plans and established principles. The objective of control is to point out weaknesses and shortcomings, if any, in order to rectify them and prevent reoccurrences. It operates on everything, that is, material, equipment, men, operations, etc. For control to be effective, it must be applied within reasonable time and to be followed up sanctions. So this is the important definition which is given by Fayol. Now we move into another topic which is called the objectives of production control. Now we move into another topic which is called objectives of production control. So now let us see what are the most important objectives of production control, and there are as follows. Number 1, provisions of raw materials, equipment, machines and labor. Number 2, to organize production schedule in conformity with the demand forecast. Number 3, the resources are used in the best possible manner in such a way that the cost of production is minimized and delivery date is maintained. Number 4, objectives. Determinations of economic production runs with a view to reduce setup cost. Number 5, proper coordination of the operations of various sections, departments responsible for production. Number 6, to ensure regular and timely supply of raw materials at the desired place and of prescribed quality and quantity to avoid delays in production. And number 7, to perform inspection of semi-finished and finished goods and use quality control techniques to ascertain that the produced items are of required specifications. So thus, the fundamental objectives of production control is to regulate and control the various operations of production process in such a way that orderly flows of material is ensured at different stages of the production and the items are produced of right quality in right quantity and at the right time with the minimum efforts and cost and wastage of elimination of products and raw materials. A thorough analysis of all the factors influencing the production planning and control helps to identify the weak spot and the corrective action with respect to pre-planning and planning with the affected by a feedback. The success of this step depends on the communication, data, and information gathering the analysis. So with this we have come to an end of this particular unit. Thank you.